the article, we heard some new vocabulary. I want to talk a little bit about those. So, we've been talking about producers, and a producer is an organism that can make its own energy storage molecules, such as glucose. So, that was really one of the big ideas to come out of the article, was that these producers are actually making their own energy storage molecules. And when we look in the digital model, this is what those producers are represented by. And these are things that are plants, grasses, trees, algae, lots of different things that can basically make their own food. Now, a consumer is an organism that needs to eat in order to get energy storage molecules. So consumers can't make their own food. They do not have the ability to make energy storage molecules in their own body, so they must consume something else to get those for energy. So there's a couple different classifications of consumers. We have, we typically call them primary consumers, and these are things that eat the producers. So typically like rabbits and snails, deer, things that you normally think of as maybe vegetarian animals that just eat producers. Then we have secondary consumers, and these are things that are organisms that you might think of as predators. So they're things like wolves, spiders, birds of prey, foxes, different things like that. So these sort of organisms are eating other organisms. So they are secondary consumers. Now, we just learned about a really important idea from the article, and that is the fact that energy storage molecules are actually being made inside of producers through a chemical reaction called photosynthesis. Now, we saw that carbon dioxide molecules and water molecules are the reactants of this reaction. And with the help from some energy from sunlight inside of the producer, a reaction occurs and those atoms rearrange to make the products that are glucose, which is our energy storage molecule, and oxygen. So something really important here is to note that carbon seems to be an atom that's very, very important. It's found in carbon dioxide and it's found in those energy storage molecules. So really all of these energy storage molecules that are providing energy and allowing animals to survive and reproduce, those atoms in glucose are coming from carbon dioxide. This process allows these carbon dioxide molecules, which are abiotic, they're not living. Remember, they're up in that upper section of our digital model, that is the abiotic or non-living section. This process of photosynthesis rearranges those atoms to be glucose, which belongs in the biotic section of the ecosystem. So now it is a part of the living matter section. So this is a really important process that basically gets these energy storage molecules from the air into the bodies of plants and then into the bodies of animals and other organisms. All of this is happening in this structure called the chloroplast. Now, I want you to pause here and just do a quick check-in to see if you can fill in the blanks and complete this summary. And then after you have done that, you can play the video again. All right, let's check in with this summary. Photosynthesis is done by producers. This process requires energy from sunlight and carbon dioxide from abiotic matter. Photosynthesis makes oxygen and energy storage molecules like glucose for an ecosystem. This brings us to our key concept, which is all about carbon. Carbon is part of carbon dioxide, which is abiotic matter. Carbon is also part of energy storage molecules, which are biotic matter. During the process of photosynthesis, producers make energy storage molecules using carbon from carbon dioxide and energy from sunlight. This moves carbon from abiotic to biotic matter. So really here with this key idea, we're tracing where carbon is traveling through the ecosystem.